So we are a little bit behind on our Game of Thrones vlogs. We're sorry. Honestly, we are. But stuff happens, and here we are ready to talk about episode 4.
Oathkeeper.
Is that what it's called?
It is called Oathkeeper.
There were a bunch of interesting things that happened. Some very sweet moments, as well as some moments where you're like, what the fuck is going on? I don't remember this in the book. But it was an interesting episode anyway. So, favorite sweet moment?
I really liked the moment between Bran and Jamie, where Jamie's like, well, you swore an oath to Catelyn Stark, you gotta go and find the girls. And she's just like, no, and he's like, you have to do this. And then he gives her the Valyrian sword, and then he like gives her a suit of armor, and then he gives her pod. And I'm just like, oh,
we're so cute.
And it's just like, I love the relationship between Jamie and Brienne. It's just so complicated and kind of romantic and kind of like bromancy, and I love it so much.
Oh yeah. Another really cute moment was the moment between Marjorie and Tommen, where she's like, okay, well, we're gonna be married, so A, I don't want you to hate me because of your mother, and B, I'd actually like to be friends. And Tommen's like clearly like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. She's in my room, she's in my bed, what do I do?
She's so pretty.
It's just, you can see him growing up years just by the time she's gone.
I love Marjorie. I think they've definitely improved her from the book, because in the book she's just kind of more along the lines of like a lady of court. Like they didn't really, she's not as in depth, and the show's managed to give her wants and needs and aspirations and things, and just that reflects even onto her grandmother, because in this episode, she's just like, well, you need, as she said, you need to befriend Tom, and you have to get to him before Cersei does, and na. And Marjorie's just like, what am I gonna do, man? I mean, I've had 2 husbands. One of them was, like, murdered and, like, stabbed through the guts by a shadow monster thing. The other one was murdered on our wedding day.
This is not boding well, grandmother.
And the grandmother's just like, you really thought I'd let you marry that asshole? And I'm just like, oh, Lady of Thorns.
And then she's like, use your feminine wiles. I did. That's how I got your grandfather. And you're like, oh God.
I want a show just about her. I want, like, young Queen of Thorns just doing stuff, and then old Queen of Thorns just doing, like, manipulating the crap out of everyone, because she is a contender, and I'm really sad that she's leaving King's Landing.
Because she's just so much fun.
She's just such a breath of fresh air, because everybody else is just like, oh, you know, we gotta do stuff, we gotta do it around people. She's just like, I don't like you. I paid for this food at this wedding, I might as well eat it. Where's the wine? Go get me a necklace. Screw everyone. Just like, you're great.
She's just wonderful. Some what the fuck moments. Guess we'll go straight for the ending.
What is that madness? What is that?
That was not in the books. Not even a little bit.
See, I thought that they were eating the babies.
Yeah.
That's what I got, that they were being sacrificed, that the White Walkers were eating the babies, and they're making White Walkers? I don't know. What is this?
What is the obsession with babies? Why do people like, Rumpelstiltskin, I want your baby? Like, what do you do with a baby?
I guess the baby represents, like, new life. And, like, purity and innocence.
Because nobody does anything. Like, nobody explains what they're doing with the baby. They're like, I want a baby to raise it as my own.
Maybe Rumpelstiltskin just really wants a son.
Yeah, but he never says that. But, like, and what about everybody else who wants a baby? They're just like, give me your baby. Why?
Well,
so now the White Walkers want babies. It's like, well, unless they're eating them, I don't know why they want them.
And I wonder how many of those White Walkers are then technically, like, Craster's children. Just throwing it out
Probably
there.
a lot.
I'm definitely, I want to see more of this, like, White Walker society, because when I was reading the books, I was just like, I want to know more about the White Walkers, because they're just kind of like this distant myth that kind of comes in, like, I think it's in the 3rd book. We seen it last season where they're, like, on the mound, and they're, like, making camp, and they're like, nah, and then they hear the 3-horn blast, and it's just like, we're all gonna die. And I'm just like, we're gonna learn things. You're gonna learn us a thing about White Walkers, and then it's just nope. And so,
run for your lives.
when the episode ended and it's the White Walker with the baby, I'm like, we're gonna see them eat a baby, and then it puts it on the altar, and I'm like, we're gonna sacrifice the baby, and then it like turned, and I'm just like, and then the episode ended.
And, like, okay, and so they're turning babies into White Walkers. What's the fucking point? So they can toddle after you and bite your ankles?
Well, they're clearly making up their ranks. Maybe they age differently.
I don't know.
Like, you saw with, like, the White Walkers, like, all, like, creepy, like, wrinkly.
Yeah. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I really want to know what the fuck they're doing with all these babies.
Last thing we need to talk about is Littlefinger just being a bamf. Like, just conversation with Sansa, and she's just like, oh, you wouldn't kill them. You wouldn't kill Joffrey. The Lannisters, they've helped you out. They gave you Harrenhal. And he's like, a man who doesn't have a motive is not suspected. And I'm just like, oh, Littlefinger, reason you are like my favorite character.
Oh, because you just know after that speech that he's going to fuck shit up and just take everything, because nobody suspected him. He came out of nowhere.
He's just been doing his thing, and it's the one thing that I've found on the internet is a lot of people are just kind of like, he's taken on too much, like, because they haven't, I don't know if it's people that haven't really been paying attention to him, because he's just kind of been like this throwaway character in the background doing his thing. And so it's just like, oh, Littlefinger, you know how it is in Game of Thrones. The moment you, like, say, this is my hand, this is what I'm doing, then you get smacked. But no, we have ways to go with him.
He's been thinking about this way too long. And, yeah, he kind of, like, he was very smart about it. He let them all of them just, I'm going for the crown, and they're beating each other up, and they're, like, maiming each other as they're trying to get this crown, and he's in the back just, like, gonna trot past everybody who was in the front.
I'm just gonna manage your money, and I'm just gonna run some brothels, and
I'll see you at the finish line. I'll be waiting for you.
Just like, I love you so much. You're such, like...
He's just such a fun character.
And I mean, he's not a nice person.
No.
That's the thing. Like, he like, we gotta remember, this is the guy who betrayed Ned Stark in season 1. Like, he's...
But see, the thing about Game of Thrones is it always makes you like, not many characters in the book are nice characters. And the ones who are actually nice generally do not fare well.
Well, it's really the thing that everybody loves the Starks. And I think the reason for that is we're introduced to the Starks first. So the very first character you get to know is Ned. And so you feel safe with Ned. And Ned is such a nice guy. And yeah, you kind of start realizing after that he had all these ridiculous faults, and the fact that he was willing to do anything to protect his honor. And that included, like, putting his family on the line. But you like him because he's the first character you got to know. He was your introduction. He was a good guy. And so when he's killed, it's like you have some Psycho flashbacks. It's like you're watching Psycho again, and you get to that shower scene. You're not expecting that. Now, after, like, the popularity of, like, Game of Thrones and things, characters, recent media are just being killed right, left, and center.
Yeah.
It's not the same kind of shock.
No, but, like, think about it this way. You want the Starks to survive because you like them, but do you want them to actually become king? No, not really.
I guess what I'm saying is you like them because you started with them, but now you're kind of being forced to side with different characters, and so you didn't like Littlefinger at first because he was a dick. He was a dick, but now you're just like, you look like you're actually going to do something. I think I feel safe with you.
Oh.
So yeah.
Anyways, that was our little rant and analysis, apparently, of Game of Thrones, but that was fun.
Yeah.
So anyways, we will see you in our next vlog about the next episode.
Yeah. Bye guys.
Bye guys.